Everyone agrees that it's a good idea to wash your car before you store it for the winter time, but there's something that a lot of people miss that could be a real threat to it. You see, if you don't account for moisture, whether you use a car cover or not, you can run into some real problems. I've been storing my MR2 here for the winter time for the last 20 years, and as you can see, it's in pretty good condition still. This 1994 Acura NSX belongs to a great friend of mine. Like, seriously, he's one of the best dudes you'll ever meet. It's a super clean black on black car with only 50,000 original kilometers on the clock. So he's already filled up the tank one last time, and he's carved out the perfect spot in his garage for it to rest. So all we have left to do then is give it one final bath before it goes into hibernation. But here's the thing, I happen to know from experience that this Berlina black paint is super soft and easy to scratch. And while this car did receive a paint correction and ceramic coating quite a few years ago, the coating is getting pretty tired and the swirl marks are starting to appear again. He actually told me that last time he washed this car, it's not beating water at all anymore. And so that's one thing that I want to focus on here today is use some kind of like a ceramic spray or something as a temporary fix for right now so that when he goes to wash it again in the springtime when it's got dust on it, it'll be easier to clean. Now let's pull it out into the driveway and open it all up to take a good look at what kind of work this thing needs to get ready for storage. Alright, let's take a look at what this car is going to need. I've got the GoPro on here because I want you guys to kind of experience this car as if it's in your garage and you get to work on it too. First of all, on the exterior here, it looks like it's mostly just dusty, but it's pretty light dust, and I think this is just going to require just a quick regular wash for the exterior. The wheels here, I know he's not really a tire shine guy. I am, and since I'm doing the car today, I'm going to put some tire shine on. He can rub it off if he wants to.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
But these wheels look like as if the faces of them get cleaned pretty regularly. They're in really good shape. But if you look down in here, the inner barrels have quite a bit of brake dust built up in there. So I think what we're going to do is do a little bit of a deep clean on the wheels and get this all cleaned up because these are so wide open. You can see right through these spokes. So that needs to be cleaned. It needs to really pop. Same thing with like inside the wheel wells here. Around back here, it's pretty much the same thing. You can see more of the dirt and dust on the paint on the back. It seems like this car gets dirtier on the rear than it does on the front for some reason. We do have some kind of water spots and stuff on the exhaust tips here, so we're going to clean those up when we clean the wheels. Now, I haven't looked at this car yet myself, guys. You're seeing this at the same time as I am. I got to figure out how to open this thing all up because I want to get a look at, you know, under the hood. I want to see, let's see what the fuel door looks like. This rear trunk lid for sure. First of all, these door jambs kind of match the rest of the car. Very well kept, just a little bit dusty. So I'm not going to pressure wash these like I would on some of the other cars, like, you know, say the daily driven trucks or something. I'm just going to wipe these down with a rinseless wash, I think, because they're really not dirty and I don't want to risk getting this beautiful interior wet with a pressure washer. And by the way, the interior looks like it's in really good shape. So I think probably at most, maybe just a quick dusting, little wipe down, run a vacuum through it. Is this the trunk lid? Yep. All right. I'm an NSX expert now. Where is the latch? How do we do the latch? I can feel you. I feel something there. I feel like it should be that right there. Oh, there we go. All right, what do we got? A prop rod here. And this goes in, looks like right there. Okay. Anyways, what kind of condition have we got here? It looks pretty much perfect. So we're not going to mess with this. We're just going to leave this alone. Remember, we're not doing like a concourse detail or anything here on this one. Maybe we will next year if he wants to do like a full paint correction and stuff. But this is just a wash before storage. Let's see. The trunk. No surprise. Super clean in here. This car is in such good shape. This is really a special car for sure. At the very most, maybe just a quick wipe down like the door jambs along the edges here, because you can see there's just some water spots and stuff that'll wipe off real easy. But that's, I think we're gonna leave that alone as well. And I remember I have a friend that owns a couple of these, and I think he told me that these are, every panel on this car is soft touch close. Yeah, so you don't have to slam anything on these cars. This is a sophisticated car. It's all aluminum, very well built, really well designed. And now, take a look. How do I find the engine? Oh, it's just like this. Okay. This looks pretty decent. Could use to make it a little bit of a wipe down. I wouldn't bother getting this wet, and because of its age, I wouldn't want to soak it anyways. Is this soft close? Yep. Very cool. Check out the gas cap. Yeah, this needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but no big deal. We'll just clean that up. Maybe when we do the foam bath, we'll hit this with some brushes, and I'll leave that open to remind myself. What a car, man, what a car. Little soft close. Yep, it's true.
As always, I'm starting off with the wheels so I don't spray any of these cleaners or brake dust onto the clean paint. These are Advan Model 5s and they have a really nice metallic gray finish on them, so I'm using a gentle wheel cleaner on them since they aren't very dirty. And on second thought, I think the inner barrels have been cleaned regularly as well. They just got dirtier because the brake dust is more likely to collect in there. Unlike the last few vehicles I've worked on, these didn't require using steel wool to remove baked on contaminants. They cleaned up with very little effort, which is always nice. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I find that using brushes on certain wheel designs is actually more difficult than just using an old wash mitt, but that's a preference thing, I guess. By the way, if you want free tips to make your car look awesome delivered to your inbox every week, sign up at the link below. I've had multiple people tell me that it's the only newsletter they bother subscribing to, so that's pretty cool. This is a Pride V2 exhaust, and it's a big upgrade over the clunky looking OEM one. It sounds fantastic too. Since this paint is pretty sensitive, I'm foaming the car down first before I rinse it. The idea is to lubricate the surface immediately, as well as allow the weight of the foam to gently pull the loose dirt off the car before hitting it with a pressure washer. Then I give it a quick rinse before moving on to the contact wash. There's no reason to remove every bit of soap here at this point because we're still going to be foaming it again. Lately I've been seeing a few comments on here that are questioning whether it's safe or not to use a pressure washer on your car. And I can appreciate the concern because I'm the first one to be paranoid about scratching paint. There's a few things to consider here. First of all, there's a big difference between using a 1000 psi electric pressure washer and a gas-powered one that makes like 5000 psi. A high-powered one is better suited for cleaning your deck and stuff like that. It can totally rip the paint off your car if you're not careful. The one that I use though is right around 1000 psi or less now due to the upgrades to the hose and gun. I can easily hold my hand in front of it and it doesn't hurt. You also want to keep a safe distance from the car and avoid hitting known sensitive areas directly, like if you have a loose piece of trim or something. My MR2 has some of the most sensitive and easy to scratch paint I've ever seen, and the pressure washer hasn't added any swirl marks or scratches to it. Finally, what do you think happens to your car when you drive on the highway in the pouring rain? That's just my take on it. You don't have to use one if you don't want to. Now that I've got the loose dirt off the surface, I'm ready for the contact wash. I start by spraying a thick layer of foam on the car again before I start washing it by hand. When you combine the foam with the soap in the bucket, we're basically doubling up on slickness for safety. I'm using microfiber towels instead of a wash mitt because I believe it's less likely to create swirl marks, and on cars like this, safety is the name of the game. I did a video recently that explains everything a little more in depth if you want to learn my process for washing ceramic coated vehicles. One last rinse for the car, and this time around I want to be really thorough with getting every last bit of soap off. We can already see what my friend was talking about. This nearly 12-year-old ceramic coating is pretty cooked. The water isn't beating or sheeting like it should be, it's just sitting on the surface. So let's dry it off and see what we can do about making it bead water again. Now this is the most crucial part of this entire wash, and it's because of this. Do not put your car away wet if you're storing it for the winter. Allowing water to stay trapped in your car can cause all kinds of problems. There's obvious things like rust and corrosion, but it can also cause electrical issues and, believe it or not, damage your paint. For example, say some water creeps out from behind a taillight. That'll leave a water spot on the paint, but here's the thing. You won't be washing the car again for 6 months or so, and that'll give the minerals a chance to really etch into the paint. So the key is to dry your car off thoroughly after washing it, or don't wash it at all. I'm starting with blowing it dry, even though with a failed ceramic coating, it's not going to do much on large surfaces. It's actually more important to open it up and blow it dry in all of the door jambs, the engine bay, the trunk, etc. These are places where water loves to hide, so we got to get it out of there. Next, it's time to address the owner's concerns with water beading while also drying the car off further. The leaf blower didn't do a great job of drying the car, and some of the water we blew out of the jams has ended up on the paint, so it'll need to be dried with a towel. I'm taking this opportunity to try a wet application of G-Technic C2 V4, which is a ceramic spray sealant. To be clear, this is not the same as a wipe-on ceramic coating. No spray-on product is. But this will seal up the paint for a few months, or easily the entire winter in this case since it'll be indoors. And it'll make it bead water again when he washes it in the springtime. I've tried this product with dry applications on other cars, and my main complaint was that it felt kind of grabby. In my mind, grabby is bad, especially on sensitive paint, because it means you have to put more pressure on your towel as you wipe the surface. So I'm using it differently this time, where I spray it directly on the panel while it's still wet. This was a slicker application for sure, but the downside is that the water that remained on the surface diluted the product down a bit, lowering its protection and longevity. In this case, it's a worthy trade-off since this car is just going to be sitting in storage and will likely be polished and properly coated next year. I use the same ceramic spray on the wheels as well. Since they're in such great shape, why not add some extra protection? Finally, since I'm the captain now, I dress the tires. Here's the thing, I'm always preaching to people to use tire shine to create contrast, but that doesn't mean I'm a fan of artificially shiny tires. The goal is to make your tires look brand new by making them clean and dark black. This causes your wheels, paint, and tires to pop, and it makes your car really stand out. And wouldn't you know, my friend loved the look when he came to pick up the car. I offered to remove it after filming the video, but instead, he asked what I used so he can get some. It was from Suds Lab, by the way. The stuff goes on shiny, but then it dries to a nice satin finish.
Alright, well, as you can see, I'm running out of daylight, so I'm going to have to pull this thing back into the garage, and we'll finish up the interior and the jams and stuff maybe tomorrow in the nice warm garage. I can confidently say that this is by far the best feeling manual shifter I have ever felt on a car. I'm assuming that this is an aftermarket one because I don't think this knob is a stock one, but so I don't know if this is a short shifter, but it feels amazing. Back when they were developing the Ford GT, like the second one, I believe they got their hands on an NSX like this because they wanted to duplicate this shifter feel. So pretty cool stuff. In enough? Maybe a little bit more. As a tall guy, I'm kind of surprised by how cramped the cockpit is though. Headroom is a little bit small, a little bit short, but I mean, you're not going to complain with a car like this, are you? We've got her in nice and safe and sound. Close it down. You can smell a skunk out there, so I am locking myself in this garage. You are not spraying this nice clean car. Pepe Le Pew. So we've got it, what is it now, about 11, 12 degrees. We're gonna turn the heat on a little bit in here. It'll help to dry the car off some more as well. This thing sure is nice to have, I'll tell you that much. So good. Well, there's no point in trying to hide it because it's obvious. I'm sick. And no, I don't mean sick. I mean like I had a fever and chills while I was washing the car yesterday, and today, as you can tell, I'm losing my voice. So I just want to do a little bit more tidying up of the door jams, and I've got a little bit of rinseless wash in a spray bottle here. This is Optimum No Rinse, but you can use whatever you want, I don't care. You might find this interesting real quick. A few years ago, I ceramic coated this front lip for him. I used G-Technic C4 on it, and as you can see, I don't believe he's put anything else on here since then. This is probably about 5 years ago or so, and it looks nice and black still. So that's a nice little long-term update for you on a product like that. Actually, I think I have some here. Here's the stuff right here, G-Technic C4.
I'm opening the car up again to clean the door jambs, of course, but also to find any remaining water that might be hiding in there so I can soak it up with a towel. I made sure to dress the plastic inner fender liners with tire shine just in case he puts his car up on his hoist for the winter. It's gotta look good at eye level. I'm basically prepping this thing for a one-man car show because you better believe that if he can't be out driving it in the snow, he's gonna be drinking coffee and staring at it in the garage all winter. Well guys, this NSX is all cleaned up now and ready for winter storage. These cars are always going to be special, and they're either going to retain or continue to gain in value over the years. So it's even more important to continue taking really good care of this one while also enjoying it as often as possible. Now there's actually one final very important step that we need to do here that we wouldn't normally care about with a regular wash in the summertime. And that's take this car for a little lap around the block. Just a quick slow speed drive through your neighborhood is all you really have to do. The idea is you want to get the vibrations of the engine and just of the car moving to shake free any remaining moisture or water that might be pooling in different spots of the car, because you don't want to seal your car up and then leave it with wet spots throughout the wintertime. This is a great way to just rattle it all out, make sure the car is completely bone dry, and then you can park it and you're good to go. Now, just a slow speed drive around your neighborhood is more than enough for this. You don't have to take it down the highway like you're going to see in this video. The reason we're on the highway is because, well, my friend needs to take it home. But some of you will be storing your cars off-site and will need to be driving on the highway. All I'm gonna do is bring my pre-mixed bottle of rinseless wash. This is Optimum No Rinse, and this is mixed up in the detail spray dilution and a nice soft, high quality, fluffy towel. So if we get, any bugs on the front end or something like that from driving it, I would rather spot clean those than not drive the car at all after this and have water trapped somewhere for the entire winter. So now you might have noticed when I was washing this car that I used individual towels instead of a regular wash mitt. If you want to find out why, watch this video next.